Hello, this is Chas with Heirloom Leaves and Seeds, and today I'm going to go over all the zinnias that I have grown for 2024. Now, I have wanted to do this video for a long time because zinnias are my favorite flower to grow, and each type can have their own personalities, and there's just a zinnia for everything. They come in such a wide color range, and sometimes there's nice big zinnias, and sometimes there's little petite zinnias, and it just is all a personal preference. I like a mix of everything. I am naturally drawn to the more pastel colors, just apricot, coral, light pink. I love that color range. But then I also like a darker one as well, and sometimes even a bright yellow. So it just depends on the situation and what you want from your zinnias. And it's just so much fun to grow them. So let's get started, and I'm going to go over all of the ones that I have grown this year. The first on my list is Benary's Giant, or Benary's Giant, whatever you call it. But I love these because they produce such large flowers on long stems and not very many leaves. And I only grew this one this year, and I really miss having a nice big long row of these. I've really missed having a ton of these. So, note to self, do a lot more of the Benary's Giant. Second on my list is from the Queen Lime series. Now here I have got Queen Lime Red, and this is probably my favorite variety from the Queen series. It's the most distinct. It's easy to tell. Sometimes, let's see, 2 years ago for my daughter's wedding, I just grew like every Queen Lime I could. The Queen Lime Red, Peach, Queen Lime Blotch. I mean, I did them all. And I didn't label them very good, so it was hard to, they were so beautiful. It was hard to be like, okay, which one is this? The Queen Lime Red, you can really tell from the others, but some of the others I was like, okay, I have no idea which variety this is. So if you grow multiples from the Queen Lime series, just make sure that you label them really well. And this like bicolored one, I think there's two. These were volunteers, and they were very beautiful. All right, next is a unicorn mix. Now I have several of these, and they were all pretty pastel. There was not any like super bright ones, which was a little bit of a disappointment because I sell at the farmer's market, so bright and colorful was kind of what I was going for. And it just didn't happen. And I will show you one. I'm saving the seeds from it, but one was so beautiful. And let's see, what would be the closest? I think these are from the unicorn mix as well. They're the ones that's blooming the best for me right now. And it was kind of this shape, but it was more full. It was a nice full double and more ombre. But I will insert a few pictures of them because they were so beautiful. And then this is from Victorian Wedding, and they look like little plump macaroons when you let them go. And right now I've just got this pink color from that variety that's growing. They're about done for the year, so I really only have a few of this pink one that's looking really nice right now. And then here I have got some from Dawn Creek Dawn. And this was a mixed packet, and these were all kind of from trial varieties. And I didn't really get too many nice doubles. And when I'm talking about these, this, you can kind of see how similar they look. But they have these beautiful, nice big flowers, but most of them are just singles, which they're still pretty, but I was hoping for more doubles. This one has several rows of petals, and it's very pretty. But I was hoping they would have been a little bit more fuller. But I only have maybe 3 or 4 plants of these. I planted them later in the year, and I was running out of space, so I only have a couple. And then down here, I have got several different varieties that were volunteers that I just let go to seed last year, and then I just let them come up in the garden, and I knew they were zinnias, and I just let them go. And it was so nice because we had a weird spring this year, and these zinnias that were volunteers that I let grow, they were my first zinnias of the year, and I really appreciated them. But let's see, I have one that I have nicknamed Tangerine. It's just this beautiful tangerine color, and it's this it's not, I don't know if you can tell, I don't want to get too close, but it's almost like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not just a solid tangerine color. And I will show you one of the first blooms, a picture of that from earlier in the year, and you can really see the different shades of tangerine on that plant. And I really love this one, and I'm going to save some seeds from it. And then over here, this one is pretty cool too because it's like a melon color. It's a very soft yellow, and the inner petal, it's hard to tell in this light, but it's pink. And it's really cool. And this was one of my favorites that's like a volunteer of this year. So I was really happy with both of these. I thought they were just absolutely gorgeous. Here's another self-seeder. These, they're so funny because they get huge. This has to probably have some Benares giant in them, but huge flowers. Maybe a double, single to double petals, rows of petals, but nice long stems, very few leaves, just a nice plant. And then I had some other self-seeders, and they are these guys right here, and they are almost purple, the closest to purple I have grown this year. And then there's some in here as well, right there. This is from a different plant, but they're very, very similar. And then here, now I'll try to show you these the best that I can. So here I have got precious metals. And they're back here too. I just have a few of them. Here's another one, and they look similar. Like if I told the customer these were 2 different ones, they probably would be like, huh? But here's another one. That might be Alpenglow or Golden Hour. It's hard to tell when they're all in here, but I know these are for sure Dawn Creek Dawn. And then these right here are precious metal. Precious metals. Then here I've got a couple. That might be a volunteer. And one that I do not have, and I will show some pictures of, is one of my favorites, and that's peppermint stick. I love that zinnia, probably one of my favorites. But I hope this has been interesting for you guys to just see some of the varieties I've grown this year. A lot of them are self-seeded. I love these little pink ones, they're so cute. I love this Queen Lime Red. My tangerine and melon ones. Even these purple ones, they're just so beautiful. And the Dawn Creek Dawn varieties. Beautiful. All right, let's look at some of these minis. Here's some of the tangerine self-seeded type. Here's some more volunteers. There's that one I said was melon-like. Ooh, these were very cool. These were also volunteers, but let's see if I can get closer. If you look close, I don't want to get out of focus, but they are this very pale lavender, but they have streaks of a darker lavender on them. And I have had some really interesting flowers this year, and I will put some pictures up. But these were so neat. And they were just volunteers. And the volunteers have almost been the funnest ones I've grown this year. That's a volunteer. This is. The only bad thing about volunteers are they're usually not doubles. They're usually singles, or they don't have many stems. And all of these I'm showing you right now, these have all been volunteers. Oh, that's too close. All right. These are the tangerine. This one here, that's a volunteer. These are the ones in a previous video I told you guys about the Oklahoma yellow zinnias and how they were kind of crazy. I let, like I said, a bunch of volunteers come up, and the majority of them was yellow. And I don't use a ton of yellow, so I did take some plants out once I saw that they were yellow and maybe the single varieties, but I definitely let some of them go ahead and bloom, and I kept them for the whole year. And I like to use some yellow, but just not a ton. And these right here, these are from the unicorn mix. That light one right there is as well. These over here are all from the unicorn mix, besides that yellow one. This one is from the unicorn mix. I think this one is a Dawn Creek Dawn. You can kind of tell the Dawn Creek Dawns because if you look at the shape of the petals, they are almost, can you see how they look squared off at the end? At least the type I am growing. It's almost like they have squared petals. Can you see that? Now, this was from a trial mix. I think I mentioned that earlier. It was trial Dawn Creek Dawns. It wasn't like the Dawn Creek Dawn Pink or the Dawn Creek Dawn Peach. This was a mix. But it was fun. And like I said, I only did a few, so I don't know if just the few that I am growing have these kind of square petals. But all the ones I have kind of have these squared off petals, but they're very beautiful. All right, and now we are back to those original striped ones. Well, I hope you guys liked this video, and I will be putting a few more here at the end, just so you get a good feel of all the zinnias that I grew this year. Maybe next week I will do a video on all of the zinnias I plan to grow for next year. Like I said, zinnias are my favorite flower to grow, and it's very exciting, and I am already looking forward to the ones that I will be growing next year. All right, you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.